Hello everyone, myself Venu, lecturer in mechanical engineering at Government Polytechnic Warangal. And, subject dealing is refrigeration and air conditioning. And today's topic is on numerical problems on Bell-Coleman cycle and explanation about the closed air refrigeration cycle. So let us see. In the previous my video classes, we have learned regarding the air refrigeration, open cycle air refrigeration, and done analysis of Carnot refrigeration cycle and air refrigerator working on Bell-Coleman cycle, and analysis we have seen in PV and TS diagram. And next we have seen the derivation, the equation for COP of Bell-Coleman air refrigeration cycle. And in today's class, our objectives are so you are able to understood or you are able to solve some problems on Bell-Coleman cycle, and we will deal about the explanation about the closed cycle refrigeration cycle, and also but deeply we know the here the principle of closed cycle air refrigeration, and also we will see the differences between open cycle and closed cycle refrigeration system. Hope you have understood the open cycle refrigeration system in my previous video classes. Today we will complete the air refrigeration second type, that is a closed cycle air refrigeration, and we will see the differences between open cycle and closed cycle refrigeration systems. So before that, before starting the closed cycle air refrigeration theory topic, so let us solve the Bell-Coleman cycle problems which we have derived the COP formula in the previous video lesson. So let us have a look regarding some problem, and continuation we can also see the advantages and limitations of air refrigeration. And here goes with the problem 1. A refrigeration system working on Bell-Coleman cycle. The air is compressed from a pressure 1 bar to 5 bar. So assume isentropic compression and isentropic expansion, and the ratio of specific heats, that is the gamma value, is equal to 1.4. Here he is asking to find out obtain COP, coefficient of performance, and the second one, compare this value with that of Carnot cycle if the temperature of ambient air and the cold chamber are 25 degrees centigrade and 5 degrees centigrade respectively. So here we have seen a numerical problem on Carnot cycle in the previous video lesson, and we have also found the equation for COP of Carnot cycle also. Similarly, we have seen for COP for Bell-Coleman cycle also. So from the given problem, first we find out the given data in this. The pressure values are given 1 bar and 5 bar. So for this you have to remember the PV and TS diagram of Bell-Coleman cycle. So just have a look regarding the given data. So first the 1 bar which is given there, so it is the initial pressure of Bell-Coleman refrigeration system. If you observe the PV diagram, point starting from point 1, so the value is taken as P1, so which is equal to 1 bar, and the final pressure, so that is after compression. If you observe the PV diagram, the pressure increases and the volume gets decreased here. What happens here, the final pressure of Bell-Coleman refrigeration system, so it is equal to 5 bar, so given value is 5 bar. Next the ratio of the specific heats, so gamma value equal to gamma value equal to 1.4, and the pressure ratio, so here the pressure ratio, if you take 1 bar to 5 bar it has reached, so if you take the ratio between the two pressures, final pressure and the initial pressure, so it is equal to P2 by P1, so which is equal to 5 by 1. that is equal to 5. So pressure ratio is 5. Next, go for the solution. The COP of Bell-Coleman cycle is equal to T4 by T3 minus T4. So this is the formula COP of Bell-Coleman cycle, which we have seen, T4 by T3 minus T4. So the same formula can be written here. So it is equal to 1 by T3 by T4 minus 1. So which is equal to, here we have seen the derivation of COP of Bell-Coleman cycle. So that is T3 by T4 equal to P3 by P4 whole to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma. Here you can see that P3, so it is equal to P2. It is a constant pressure process. It's a constant pressure process. So P2 is equal to P3, and here P4, so where it is equal to P1. So P1 equal to P4. So 2 to 3 process is a constant pressure process, and 4 to 1 process is a constant pressure process. So here it is equal that is also equal to T3 by T4 is also equal to P2 by P1 whole to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma. Okay, it can be written like this. So from the known values, from the known data, we know the P2 by P1 pressure ratio value is 5 and gamma value is given. So if you substitute that, the COP of Bell-Coleman cycle, so we can write the same thing as 1 by 5 whole to the power of, that gamma value is 1.4 minus 1 means 0.4 by 1.4, so minus 1. And the value of COP of Bell-Coleman cycle can we find it very easily, and the value is 1.72. Next, we have to compare the same value with the Carnot cycle, Carnot refrigeration cycle. So here we know the COP formula for Carnot cycle is, it is equal to T1 by T2 minus T1. So we know the values of temperature values given in the data, T1 and T2 values. In terms of Kelvin, we are writing it as 278, and T2 value is 298. So if you know the temperature values, so we can easily find the COP of Carnot cycle. So it is equal to 13.9, whereas if you observe the COP of Bell-Coleman cycle is 1.72. So if you take the ratios between the two cycles, Bell-Coleman cycle and Carnot cycle, so the value is equal to 0.123. So ratio of when compare with both the cycles, COP of Bell-Coleman cycle is very less 1.72, COP of Carnot cycle is 13.9. When you take the ratio of both the cycles, compare Bell-Coleman cycle compared with the Carnot cycle, value you are getting is 0.123. So this is the problem regarding that. Similarly, we will see the other model of a problem. It's a problem 2. In a Bell-Coleman refrigerator, the air is drawn from the cold chamber at minus 5 degrees centigrade and 1.03 bar. The same air is compressed reversibly and adiabatically to 5.25 bar before being cooled in the heat exchanger to 15 degrees centigrade. After the exchanger, the air is expanded adiabatically and reversibly to cold chamber state. Assuming the value of Cp equal to 1.004 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and Cv equal to 0.717 kilojoules per kg Kelvin per air, determine work done on the cycle per kg of air, refrigerating effect produced in the cold chamber, and finally COP. So 3 things you have to find out: work done on the cycle per kg of air, refrigerating effect produced in cold chamber, and coefficient of performance. So from the given problem, first you have to write the given data. From the data we find the solution. to find all these three: work done, refrigerating effect, and COP. So first, the temperature given and pressure mentioned here. We'll see in the given data that T1 is minus 5 degrees centigrade. So we have to convert to Kelvin, that add plus 273 Kelvin, so it is equal to 263 degrees Kelvin. And pressure mentioned is P1, which is equal to 1.03 bar. And T3 value is equal to 15 degrees centigrade. To convert to Kelvin, plus 273, which is equal to 288 degrees Kelvin. And pressure at 0.2, which is equal to 5.25 bar. Next, Cp value is 1.004 kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and Cv value is 0.717 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So coming to solution, to find the gamma value, so ratio of specific heats is equal to Cp by Cv, which is equal to 1.004 by 0.714, which is equal to, the gamma value is 1.4, which is standard. And here from the formula of COP, so we determine the temperature ratios is written as T2 by T1, which is equal to P2 by P1 whole to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma. So already you know the values of P1 and P2, so which is equal to 5.25 by 1.03 whole to the power of 1.4 minus 1 by 1.4. So the T2 by T1, the ratio of temperature values, which is equal to 1.6. Next, T2 value is equal to 1.6 times of T1 from the ratio of T2 by T1 equal to 1.6. Getting the temperature of T2, so multiplying the T1 value with the ratio 1.6 into 268, which is equal to 429 degrees Kelvin. And to the next ratio value is T3 by T4, which is equal to P2 by P1 whole to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma, so which is equal to 1.6. And here to find the T4 value, so you know the ratio of P2 by P1 whole to the power of gamma minus 1, which is equal to 1.6. So T4 is equal to, bring the 1.6 to the denominator side, so T3 by 1.6 is the T3 value is 288, already it is given in the data, 288 by 1.6, which is equal to 180 degrees Kelvin, or the T4 value. Next, finally, to find the COP of a Bell-Coleman cycle, in the formula we know that it is equal to T4 by T3 minus T4 in terms of the temperature values. So you know that T3 value is 288 and T4 value is 180. So the final, the COP of Bell-Coleman cycle, so it is equal to 1.67. Next, similarly, second case, refrigeration effect per kg of air. So here the heat absorbed by the air, nothing but it is written as seen in the derivation part, so which is equal to Cp into T1 minus T4. Cp value is given as 1.004 and temperature value is 268 for T1 and T4 value is 180. The refrigerating effect per kg of air equal to, multiplying this case, you will get 88.352 kilojoules per kg. Here we know that COP equal to refrigerating effect by work done. We know the value of COP, just now we have found that, and we know the value of refrigerating effect. Next, to find the work done, we can use this formula, COP equal to refrigerating effect by work done. And the same can be work done equal to refrigeration effect by COP. You know these two values. Now it can be written as, already we have found that refrigerating effect equal to 88.352 kilojoules per kg and COP is 1.67. The work done per kg of air is equal to 53 kilojoules per kg. So these are the three values. So coming to the end of the problem. So this is for Bell column and cycle numerical problems. Next we move on to the next topic, that is regarding the explanation of closed cycle air refrigeration. So just we see the diagram of that, a line diagram, and here just a few points regarding that. Already we have seen the open cycle air refrigeration, which is one type of air refrigeration. So in that the circulation of air, the recirculation, whenever whatever air entered into the system in open system, that air after exit from the cold chamber, the further it is not reused. Fresh air is entered into the same open cycle, since it is named as open. Whereas in the closed cycle, so here the air is passed through the pipes without coming in direct contact, whereas in closed open cycle you will see it is making direct contact with the refrigerator space. Here in the closed cycle, so the air is passing through the pipes, so since it is not making any contact with the refrigerated space. So here it is not making the contact means, so the air can be recirculated again and again after its usage in the refrigerated space. So that is the primary difference between closed and open cycle air refrigeration. So here we have a look regarding this diagram. So if you observe the diagram carefully, so it is a closed loop, it's a closed cycle. So continuation of the cycle will take place. Air is circulating again and again in all the components. The components you can observe here to the electric motor, it is connected. The first component you can take it as a compressor. Into the compressor it enters into the heat exchanger here, or some cooling system is recirculated here to get it cool after compression. Then next it enters into the heat exchanger, and through the heat exchanger then next it enters into the expander. We'll explain all the components usage in the expander. Next from the expander it enters into the evaporator part, or the customer load exchanger, which is the application part here. The refrigerated space is the main one where you are getting the cooling effect. Next, after entering into the evaporator part, the customer load exchanger, next it enters into the, again it recirculates. Here it make contact with the heat exchanger, which is already passed before it entering into the expander. The same recirculation will take place here, where the heat exchange will take place. The one which is coming from the customer load exchanger, it means from evaporator it is a cooled one, and which is coming to the exchange, it is a hot one. So here the heat exchange will take place. Now again the whatever the air is there, that air again enters into the compressor. So it is a complete closed cycle. So coming to the functions, the compressor, here the compressor work is to compress whatever the fluid which enters into the system. So here we are using the air as a source. So since it is air refrigeration, so air is compressed in the compressor where the pressure and temperature increases, and then next it enters into some cooling system to reduce the temperature primarily before entering into the another heat exchanger. Simple purpose of heat exchanger here, the heat get exchanged through some other cooling medium. Then after the heat exchange will take place to further reduction of the temperature. Here it enters into the expander. So expansion will take place, and the further reduction in the temperature is possible in the expander. After reduction of the temperature, then it next passes to the evaporator part, or to the cold chamber, where the refrigerator space has to be get cool. Then next after the heat exchange will take place in the evaporator part, again the warm air after taking the temperature exchange here, the heat is carried by the air, heat absorbed by the air, and next it enters through the passage here again. So it is a closed cycle, and the air is not making any contact with the customer loads. It means with the evaporator part, it is not making a direct contact. Next, similarly, we will see some few line points here. So here, the suction pressure higher than of atmospheric pressure works at suction pressure. It means if you observe in the open cycle, maybe up to a part of same as atmospheric pressure, whereas here suction pressure is higher than the atmospheric pressure in closed cycle air refrigeration. What happens here, whenever the pressure is less, means equal to atmospheric pressure in open cycle, so the volume occupied by that particular the equipment, volume occupied is more for the same per kg of air, whereas here in closed cycle the volume occupied by that equipment is less, so air handled by the compressor is small. So what happens, instead of bulky equipments, the size of the equipment may get reduced and cost of the equipment may also reduces. This is one advantage of closed cycle air refrigeration. Next, if you see the open cycle air refrigeration works on high pressure ratios, whereas in closed cycle, so it works at or it operates at reduced pressure ratios, so resulting higher COPs. Whereas if you observe open cycle, it has lower COPs. In closed cycle, due to reduced pressure ratios, operating pressure ratios are less, so resulting higher COP, more COP you can get here. Right. So in this system, air is absorbed, is used for absorbing heat from other fluids like brine, and it is circulated in the space to be cool. So here it will absorb the heat from the brine. The brine solution will keeps the very low temperatures within the space for longer time. So it will absorb, first of all, primarily the air will absorb more the heat from the fluid like brine, and that solution is circulated in the space to be cool. So more the temperature, lesser the temperatures can be created with the help of the brine solution. Nothing but it's a salt solution, and it is circulated in the space to be cool. So you are getting very lower temperatures in the refrigerated space or in the cold chamber. So this is advantage of the closed cycle air refrigeration. Okay, right. So this is regarding the closed cycle air refrigeration. I hope you have understood. So few further more discussion if you made on the differences between open and closed cycle air refrigeration system, so you can get clarity between both the things, and more the thing you can understood between the open cycle and closed cycle air refrigeration systems. So we'll see the point by point. So the first point regarding the differences between open system and closed system. The first point in open system is the air, as we have seen that air comes in direct contact with the refrigerated space. So the air is directly supplied to the refrigerated space, and it makes contact with the substances present within the room. Whatever the refrigerated space is there, it makes the direct contact. Whereas in the closed system, so already in the we have seen in the theory part that what we have seen that air is circulated within the pipes only. Within the pipes they are moving, so it will not make contact. It is without coming in direct contact, the air is circulated within the space, so it is not making any contact with the products or substances, so within the refrigerated space. So that is the first difference between open and closed system. So coming to the second point, as already told that open system, due to the absorption of air at atmospheric condition, the volume of air handled by the compressor and expander is large. It's atmospheric pressure condition. It is absorbing the air, so the volume of air handled by that equipment is very high. So the compressor and expander component size will be large. Whereas in the closed system, so the volume of air handled by the system is low. So already explained that what is the reason means the suction pressure is more than the atmospheric pressure in the closed system. So that is the reason the volume handled by the particular equipment of air is less is low or low compared to the open system. So this is the second point regarding the difference between open and closed systems. Next, see the third point, COP is low. This is also one reason why, because more the see the next just like the next difference, more the pressure ratio is there. So operating pressure ratios are more in open system, and operating pressure reduced pressure ratios will be there in closed system. So this is one difference which is responsible for low COP in open system, and in closed system COP is high. This is the third point. Fourth point is already discussed, that operating pressure ratio is more compared to the closed system. This is one reason why it is impacting on the COP. Whereas in the closed system, operating pressure ratio can be reduced. So due to the reduced pressure ratios, COP is high, performance is high by the closed system compared to the open system. This is the fourth difference. And let's see the next point, that is the moisture is due to the direct contact with the substances. The moisture is regularly carrying by the uh, whatever the moisture present on the surfaces of the products. That moisture is carried by the air. So what is moisture present in the refrigerated space, it will be carried by the air. So due to this, what happens, the frosting will take place. It means clogging or some ice formation. So strucking due to formation of ice, due to formation of frost at the end of the expander or the end of the expansion process. What happens, is due to frosting, it will clog the pipes. It means it will block the pipelines, and whatever the walls are there, walls will also get blocked or clogged, and the further process will take the functioning of the equipment may get stopped. So this is one reason uh, why you are getting the you are not you are not using the open system, and why the COP is less. This is the reason. And the parts may get damaged due to the moisture present in the it is directly carrying from the refrigerated space, and then it enters into the components. Whereas if you see the closed system, it is as the name it indicates, it is a closed system. There is no such problems will be indicated in the formation of frost or clogging of the pipes cannot be seen in the closed system. For this, you can keep them for some safety devices. Right. So this is regarding the differences between open and closed cycle air refrigeration. I hope you have understood the theory part and the differences between these two, open and closed cycle air refrigeration. So clearly you can understood with the help of the line diagram, and clearly you can understood with the differences between these open and closed cycle air refrigeration. Next, moving on to the discussion regarding the advantages, and we will see some limitations also, or disadvantages of air refrigeration. Coming to advantages, already in the last video lesson we have discussed regarding these advantages. Very simple points you can see here. So it is abundantly available in the nature. So it is free. The source what we are using for refrigeration or for cooling purpose, that is the air, it is available freely in nature. Second point is it has some safest properties, like the air is non-flammable and non-toxic. When it mixes with some other thing, it is not a toxic, it is a non-toxic in nature, and it is a non-flammable in nature. Similarly, the weight of air refrigeration per ton of refrigeration is low. So compared with other refrigerated systems, it is also one advantage. Whatever the weight of air refrigeration you are taken per ton of refrigeration, so it is low. The weight is low compared with the other refrigerated systems. It is already discussed. The application is mostly used in the aircrafts. Why? Because some pressurized air is available at higher elevations at the supercharger component of a aircraft. So without use of any compressors, so we can directly use that pressurized air for further processing to get the refrigeration or to get the cooling effect, right? Next we'll see some limitations or disadvantages. Already discussed, due to very low COPs of air refrigeration, the cooling effect produced is also less, and refrigeration effect is less, primarily due to it is carrying air is carrying only the sensible heat and not no phase change is taking place here. It will not carries the latent heat. That is the reason, one of the reason why you are getting less cooling effect compared with the other refrigeration systems. Similarly, COP is less, and the moisture present in the air, as I already discussed regarding open cycle air refrigeration, the moisture present in the air may freeze during expansion. So during and expansion wall, further expansion will take place. Very low temperatures are created at the through the pipes of the expansion wall, or at the walls of the expander, where the due to presence of the moisture, it may get clog the pipes, and it will choke the pipes, choke the walls. The damage may occur to the um, to whatever the parts which are present in the open cycle air refrigeration components. These are the few limitations of air refrigeration. So hope you have understood the advantages and limitations of air refrigeration also. And further moving into some his part here, I'll say some two to three questions here, very simple questions, so you can answer it very easily. I'll give up the options also here. In dash air refrigeration system, the air will not be in direct contact with refrigerated space. It means we have seen the two types of air refrigeration systems, open and closed cycle. So in open cycle, already discussed that it is making direct contact with the refrigerated space, products or substances which are placed in the room, whereas in the closed cycle, air is not making direct contact with the refrigerated space. So you can easily tell the answer. So here are the some of the options. So the answer is closed air refrigeration system, air will not in direct contact with the refrigerated space. Okay, right. Next, so in which type of air refrigeration system moisture present in air may clog the valves? Understood the question? In two types of open and closed air refrigeration systems, so moisture present in air may clog the valves. That it means at which type of air refrigeration system? Again, the same, open, closed. See the both A and B, and the D is the none of the above. So out of these four options, so if you know the answer, that is open air refrigeration system. The air which contains compulsory, it contains a moisture content, so it may chance to clog the valves. It is the open air refrigeration system. And third question, you can answer it. The COP is low in case of dash air refrigeration system. So compared with the open and closed cycle, again, if you see the differences between the two cases, you can easily find that. And also we explained what is the reason why the COP is less in the open cycle system, and why the COP is high compared to the in the closed system. COP is high compared to the open cycle. So you can see what is the answer. COP is low in case of open air refrigeration system. So this is the answer for this question. Okay, so you can see some frequently asked questions, so regarding the what discussed topics, right? Like this, they may ask to explain the closed air refrigeration system with the help of a neat sketch, or they may ask the question like this: write the differences between open air system and closed air system. And they may ask the write the advantages of closed air refrigeration over open air refrigeration. Means you can get the same advantage from the differences what we have seen. You can ask the question like this also. And a few like some few numerical questions may be asked. So whatever the models we have seen, you can practice that regularly. So I hope you have understood this video lesson. So you can see up to this part, we have hope you understood the solved problems how we are using the COP formulas and pressure ratio formulas and temperature ratio formulas of the Bell column cycle, and how we have found solved the problems. Next, we have explained the closed cycle air refrigeration with a line diagram, and we have seen the working principle also. And next, we have seen the differences between open and closed cycle air refrigeration system. And similarly, we have seen the advantages and limitations of air refrigeration system. Okay, next, in the continuation, we have seen some quiz questions also regarding that. So, hope you understood all these topics. It's very interesting topics you can see in this.